Real control starts with the mind, but in order to influence the mind, we first have to influence the body. These 2-year-old studs don't want to separate. Their instinct is to stay together. So I continue the same conversation from the first lesson, using the angle of my body to control direction. And the moment they separate, the pressure goes away. That's the reward. Separation through choice is powerful because later on, this is what allows a horse to confidently leave other horses, ride out alone, and stay mentally connected instead of emotionally dependent. Most horse problems start up right here, not because the horse is bad, but because separation creates insecurity and resistance. That's why it's important I deal with that resistance at liberty, where I can still give the horse a choice motivated by movement. That matters not only for the safety with my grandkids, for loyalty later on in the performance pin. Now that I've got separation, I want to start teaching boundaries. Stopping from my shoulder line is one of the first boundaries I teach when at liberty. I already have sensitivity to direction. Now I have to maintain that direction while adding another form of control. And as soon as I add control, resistance shows up. So I work in a simple pattern of starting and stopping my feet. Right there, he stopped at my shoulder line. I wait, then he decides to turn away. Because I stayed still, it gives me a perfectly timed opportunity for the restart. Back the same direction again, giving him another opportunity to find the right answer. This time he turns away again. So I finish with a little more pressure. That's how I give him a choice. I build the pressure slow enough that he learns through the release, not through the pressure. And as soon as I add more pressure, he tries to run away, ignore the turns, and leave the conversation. So I stay in the lesson until I get the stop I'm looking for. Then he tries to come into me. So I put him back on the rail. He honors that push, settles, and now I can restart the lesson again. I'm always looking for resistance. The first time he gives me the lesson without resistance, I can move on. Resistance is easy to remove once you understand how horses think. Their survival instincts and patterns tell you exactly what's going on mentally. Right here, he passes my shoulder again, but this time he chooses to stop. So I reset my shoulder line and give him another opportunity. Patterns are important. That's the teaching side. Motivation is different. Motivation is when I add more workload after the horse already understands the lesson but chooses not to do it. Right here, he backs away from my shoulder line. That tells me he understands the boundary but still feels resistance to the control. So now I stay consistent, looking for the end game where I can quit for acceptance. His patterns tell me what he's thinking. He's still thinking about backing away, so I restart and ask again, looking for an opportunity to add a little more workload caused by a later release. As the workload increases, the resistance changes. Now when I make the correction and he responds quickly by putting his nose to the ground, the correction becomes smaller. That's important. The quicker the response, the lighter the correction. Now his evasion changes from backing away to going forward. He walks past my shoulder line, so I reset, turn on my prep, and look for the stop again. Once he stops, I hold for 4 seconds, turn off my prep, and repeat the lesson. Working in a robotic pattern gives me the opportunity to read his patterns. That's what creates the conversation. Find the back resistance and correct it. Then I find the forward resistance and correct that. Once he understands I can correct both, I fine-tune the lesson, down to exactly what I'm asking him to do. The direction, the speed, and the time until I quit asking. Once he understands that, it creates peace. Join us in the next episode where we take this control to the halter.